Everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 243. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
Ant, what's going on?
Living life, and
we are
and liking it, I guess. I don't know if I'm loving it.
Yeah, it depends. From 8 to 4:30 weekdays, I'm not so crazy about it, but any other time, I'm good to go. So.
Yeah, I'm usually good on like Saturdays from like 3 to 4.
There's a good hour.
I get an hour a week where I'm like, you know what, everything's pretty great. It's like, but outside of that, I'm like,
Well, that's why we enjoy the past. We refuse to accept the future.
No.
Even though I will say this though, last night was just real quick. I went to my buddy's house last night. A bunch of us got together. Friday the 13th. So we ended up watching They Live. Which I haven't seen in
Friday the 13th. So wait, Friday the 13th, and you watch They Live instead of Friday the 13th?
Well, yeah, because They Live is a little more campier than Friday the 13th. Because I completely forgot how that movie ended. So I was like, what is going on? But in any event, I'm like, they're like, all right, who has the movie? Because we watch, really the reason was we get together to watch kind of these bad movies. Because like They Live is fun, but it took some time to get for people to love it. So I'm like, I own it. I'm like, all right, cool. So I come over and they're like, you got the movie? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. So I go to set up. My friend gives me the DVD remote. I'm like, no, I got it right here. Got it right here. And they're like, what are you doing? And they're all older than me. Like, actually, much older than me. Like, I'm going to stream it. Like, it's not going to work. I'm like, watch. I take over my friend's TV. I sync it. And I start playing it. I'm like, nothing's going to go wrong. And then like 10 minutes in, the feed cut out. I'm like, is there a Target somewhere that we can go to? But then I got it working again, and it survived the rest of the movie, and we were good.
Okay.
So, but
your faith in streaming.
I'm telling you, well, it's good. Trust me, it worked out well. But that's the only thing that's new, because old, I got a lot of stuff to talk about that's old that I kind of refound out about.
Well, and then so last night for Friday the 13th, a friend of mine came over. We watched a horror movie that was not Friday the 13th.
Oh, well, it's what you yelling at me for.
Well, wait, hold on. But then I made up for it afterwards because we played Friday the 13th.
There you go.
So
all right.
So I got I got some Jason in last night.
Fair enough. Actually, it was funny. Like the movies are on sale, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy these. But like, there's no Jason X. I don't want it. Because he's got to go to space.
Yeah, well, of course he has to go to space.
Oh, do I have no, he's away. My Jason pop vinyl, but it's from the NES.
Yeah, and speaking of Friday the 13th, since we're on it, my friend had told me about like a couple of fan films on YouTube that you can watch.
Okay.
One of them is called, like, his friend made the first one. It's called like Never Hike Alone.
Ooh. It's
a Friday the 13th fan film. It's 54 minutes long.
Wow.
So like they went really all in, and apparently like the guy like got some notoriety off of making the film, so he's working on something else right now.
That's usually how it works.
And then a new one that just came out called Jason Rising, which is also about an hour long. So,
wow. Yeah, like the fan films, because I've seen a couple like video game fan films, and like, look, I'm not a filmmaker, obviously, but like if you're gonna do it and put it out for free, I get the reason for doing it, to get that notoriety. So, you take the time, but I feel like half hour, maybe 40 minutes tops to put in my time to try and get, but yeah, like there's a Mega Man fan film that's out there that's like 10 years old. That's a good hour, maybe an hour and 15. And it's really good, actually.
Yeah. See, it's fun. Yeah. It's funny. I never went down the road of fan films. But I mean, I may start looking some up, especially video game ones.
You know what?
We don't really get a lot of video game movies.
I'll be honest with you. As far as fan films, though, we should definitely look into it, maybe for a future episode, because the Mega Man film.
Mega Man the movie is a 90-minute film.
An hour and a half. Okay. And I watched the whole thing. It was great. Yeah. And you gotta take it for what it's worth. It's a fan film. So it's not, graphically, it's not going to blow your mind, but still great. And then there was that short horror movie with Animal Crossing.
Yes, that was great.
That I think they're turning into an actual movie.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard they may have picked that up for a movie. Yeah, that was great. It was really well done.
And then again, we'll get the links later. We'll do it in a future episode. I watched, and it was a short. It was maybe 20 minutes. A Metroid fan film that again, like the here the CGI looked better than almost anything I've seen in the Suicide Squad. So
cool.
like, yeah, so it's really cool.
That's not saying much.
I kind of like the Suicide Squad. But so this was really cool. And there's other ones out there. So definitely, you know what? For a future episode, folks, drop some links to us for some great video game fan made films. And we'll definitely check them out. Well, maybe like a mini what festival. I don't know.
We'll have a mini film festival.
There you go, something like that.
There you go.
So
very cool.
But let's get into games this week. So we were away last week. We had some obligations, of course, to take care of. So of course, thoughts and prayers there. But with that off time, boy, yeah,
someone went shopping, didn't they?
I found a new love, and you know what? I think it's time to just kind of maybe get right into it right now. So I've been meaning to pick this up for a while, and I just didn't, because I'm like, it is what it is. And then I was at Game On, and they had the system out on a demo, and I started, which they've done before, and I played it, and I'm like, stuff. And then there was a couple of games just by chance Tristan had out for demo that I completely forgot about. And I'm like, I need to get this, but how am I going to get it to hook up to a modern television? Then I remembered, the Retron 77, because I'm talking about the Atari 2600. So I'm going way back.
So, question.
Yes.
Don't you have the Atari VCS?
I have an Atari VCS, though, that does not take physical media.
Right.
And I thought about that. So here's my thought process. Yes, Atari VCS, which I do love, even though I think it's going to be more for people to use it as a secondary PC, because there's an entire PC mode on it to use it for stuff. But there are 2 Atari VCS vaults with tons of games in them. And there are a lot of the first party games, Asteroids, Millipede, Missile Command, such a crappy game. And so Missile
Command is awesome. You are stupid.
So that's fine. That's all good to go. But there's a ton of 2600 games that are not available on the VCS. And enough where between this system from Hyperkin, which I'm sure everyone's like, Hyperkin, I'm like, no, this is actually really good. And with some of the other games that aren't on the Atari VCS, I think it's worth it. Because, for example, and this is just really more out of my love of the series, you got to have one of the worst Pac-Man games ever made.
Oh, yes. I think I have 2 copies.
And this is not on the VCS. So,
and rightfully so.
Correct. And I forgot to bring it over. And I have, over the years, I've bought some Atari games, just more for the I remember this. I love it. Let me buy it. And I have what's called Pac-Man 4K, which is a newer homebrew version of this for the Atari.
Why?
It cleans it up a little bit, but not a lot, but enough. Cleans it up enough. So I got this, and then I'm like, all right, well, then I got to get Ms. Pac-Man.
Of course. Well, Ms. Pac-Man.
Which, very great upgrade compared to regular Pac-Man.
Yes, but still ugly.
True. And then I'm like, well, let's just get the entire family. So then I got Pac-Man, Junior Pac-Man.
I barely remember playing Junior Pac-Man.
Junior Pac-Man, and do not get it confused with Baby Pac-Man.
No, Baby Pac-Man's completely different.
Baby Pac-Man is the hybrid game pinball machine.
Yep.
Junior Pac-Man, which I remember in the arcade, the level being double the width. In this version, it's double the height. Okay. And a couple of little things like when the power normally be the cherry and the fruit and everything. In this game, it's candy. When it moves around, if it hits one of the dots, it actually doubles the points of the dots. So you kind of want to let it go around for a little while, which is cool. But then if it hits a power pellet, I think it destroys a power pellet.
Cool.
So so basically I picked up the family.
Very nice.
Because these are not going to be on the VCS. And then now so now I'm starting to make a list of like what's not going to be on the VCS. So then I picked up Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, I like Grand Prix. I think
great game.
I might have that too.
Great game.
I gotta look through my collection while you're doing this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then I kind of realized because I bought some Atari games, forgetting at the time that the Atari 7600 games, the cartridges are very much kind of like the 2600 cartridges.
Right.
Like when they went to the 52, they're like, all right, let's make them bigger to make it different. And then when it went to 76, they're like, yeah, let's put it back.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and the thing again for physical media, if you're getting games like licensed games are going to be the ones you got to grab, like the Star Wars games. I'm just looking through my collection.
Exactly.
The Star Wars games, probably Mario Brothers on Atari.
I have, which I have. And actually, I don't mind that gameplay.
Which is
weird.
And then, of course, Donkey Kong.
Donkey.
There was another one on my list. Oh, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Which
was on the.
I have that. I have that signed by Karen Allen.
That's right.
So,
oh boy.
But this system is pretty cool. Just to go through it real quick. So you have your buttons here on the front. You have obviously the reset button, the mode button, save and load. It is obviously running on emulation, so you can actually save games and load them. There are
because those games took so long to finish.
I think it's more for like homebrew games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On off, obviously. I don't remember what the skill button is. I got to look that up again. Takes original hardware. And then there's some stuff on the back, actually. So you have a 16:9 by 4:3 ratio change. Okay. You can change it from color to black and white, which I think is kind of cool. But then there's this button right here. Fry.
Does what? My microphone's falling apart. What we're
so as Anthony
trying to fix things here
quickly, some thing. There's a fry button. So and I haven't tried this yet, but basically you hit that button when the game is in, and it quote unquote fries the cartridges to force it to glitch, because sometimes when the game glitches, it almost kind of opens something else up.
Yep.
So it has a dedicated.
Okay, that's kind of awesome. The only console in the world that has a fry button,
basically. And what's cool about this is because Atari games, you kind of play them for a few seconds then put them down.
Right.
So what's cool is you can switch the carts out without turning off the system. Actually, to be fair, I think you got to turn the system on then put the cart in. That's how it works. So
that's interesting.
I do recommend this.
Emulation does that. Yes.
Yeah. So I do recommend that. It comes with a traditional Hyperkin version of the arcade stick, which I have over there. But for those of you who even have an original Atari 2600, I highly, highly recommend picking up Hyperkin's Ranger controller.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So here, I have it out. So what's awesome about this controller?
When are we getting Hyperkin to sponsor us?
Well, this is how it works. Yes. So it changes the joystick, that traditional Atari joystick, to this. But what's awesome at the same time, it does have the paddle for the paddle.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yep. And you can switch this because of the way the back is designed. So you can actually switch the controller if you need to, so whichever makes it more comfortable for you.
Oh yeah. So if you're one of those lefties.
Like lefty righty, like me. Yes, I'm a lefty, which is already traditional. So so highly recommend that. And I just, because the Atari games are so cheap, I can't even imagine what's going to happen. Like, I want to get my hands on Spider-Man. Probably my favorite Atari 2600 game of all time is Keystone Capers.
Oh yeah, Keystone Capers was good.
And when I say to try and find a copy, they're readily available, but to find a nice copy. Like these, I don't want to pick up one where the thing's ripped off or whatever. I want to pick up a nice looking copy.
No, I understand that. I have a few I have a few like unopened, like sealed. There you go. I picked up Joust, I think, sealed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got a couple of games, and then I have a couple in box too.
I think I have one other inbox game. I can't remember for Atari. I gotta go back and check. Probably something I already bought. Yeah. So, but
sealed games are the way to go, apparently.
Oh, please.
For a lot now.
So we want to talk about that in a second. But so that's my new love, is Atari 2600.
All right, good. Well, I'm happy you're finally coming around to a system from the late 70s or 80s.
Just nice to be able to find stuff.
Yes.
Yes, we have a new record holder for some godforsaken reason. And this record is being broken basically weekly at this point.
Yeah, weekly. Like I really I can't imagine what's going to sell for more at this point. But again, like, this is all due to the fact that collectors have a bunch of money and nothing to do with it. Sorry, that's real. I'm just going to call it right out there. I'm like, I'm sorry. If you can spend this much. No. I understand that. I go, but I think we're getting to a little bit of we're getting to a level of absurdity. And I'll give you a perfect comparison before we talk about this game that just sold. Is I think like there's a copy of Action Comics #1 or whatever, the very first Superman, or was it 39, whatever it was. First appearance of Superman. So I think like sold somewhere between $1.5 and $3 million.
Oh.
Now, but this is a comic from the 30s, the 1930s. So we're talking about a like 80, 90-year-old comic. Okay. Now we're going to fast forward to about this new record for a Super Mario Brothers game, which came out in the mid 80s. So it's less than 40 years old. But because it was sealed and there was some type of special thing about it, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the thing with Super Mario Brothers, the big appeal about it is because it came with the console most of the time after like the first run was the first run Gyromite?
Yeah, because it came with Rob.
It was like a Gyromite run, and then you got the Super Mario Brothers run. And then you got other runs after that. I was like, but, because it came with the game, very few people bought the game in stores separately. So there weren't a lot of copies made for sale on their own, which is what the appeal is for Super Mario Brothers. But now it gets into like the nitty gritty of like, this one was the first production run, and it was like, it could have been in the first 500, and the little cardboard tab that you hang it from is still intact and all this stuff. Like they literally get into the nitty gritty.
The janitor might have knocked it over with a mop. Like, yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah. So
this sealed and graded copy of Super Mario Brothers.
What was the grade? Do you know the grade?
9.6, I think.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking 9.7. So okay,
I think it was like a 9.6, and I'll look it up really quickly.
But and we're going to talk about it. But there's also something weird with it as well. But continue on.
Yeah. So this copy of Super Mario Brothers, it was a 9.8.
Oh, okay.
9.8 sold for $2 million at auction.
Wow.
Think about what you can do with $2 million, and know that somebody purchased one video game that they will never open and play.
$2 million. A friend of mine last night, we were talking about guitars, and there's a guitar on sale for like, he saw for like $45,000. And there's no shipping, not free shipping. There's no shipping. And the guy puts in the description, if you can afford to pay $40,000 for a guitar, you can afford to fly out here and pick it up. $2 million. I mean, let's see. So in the last, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, keep talking, because I'm trying to look up because this was the other interesting thing about it too, because it brings in how it sold.
Yes.
Yeah. How it sold. So recently there have been these websites that have popped up where if you can't afford to buy an expensive item, whatever it is, a special rookie card you've always wanted, or a video game or a comic book, like I said, like the first Superman, first Batman, first Avengers, whatever. You can go to a website now, and the one that we're going to talk about specifically is called Rally. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to invest a certain number of shares into owning that game.
I am pretty sure I got an email about this saying, "Hey, do you want in on this?" And I'm not even joking.
Yeah. This specific one?
I feel like I did. Yeah.
I've done a little bit of research into these. When we talked about NFTs, like a few months ago, I started looking into all these things, and I came across this whole invest a portion. And I'm like, wow, I go, instead of buying stock, like shares of stock now, you're buying shares into physical product. So what happened was on Rally, there was this 9.8 unopened copy of Super Mario Brothers. So you were able to buy shares into this game. And so when it sold for $2 million, the people who owned the game, which were not just one person, but a massive people.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's a lot of people who own this.
Right. A lot of people own this because they bought shares into it. They had to mutually agree to sell the game. Now, granted, I don't know what the original price was on Rally for the game. So in other words, like they have to give it a value. So if they had the game so if they had like, so no, it's like a stock market thing where it's like currently we have 1,000 shares for this video game, right? So each share is worth $10 if you buy in now, which means that the game at that moment is worth $10,000. And then you watch as the value appreciates, your shares go up. That's how it works. It works like the stock market. So if this game was worth like $100,000 and they were offering 100,000 shares at $1 each.
Yeah.
And then, so let's say it was that, and I bought 10 shares. Okay. I spent $10. I have 10 shares. Now the game was worth $100,000. It sold for $2 million. That's 20 times what it was worth. So now my shares, my $10 is worth $200.
My head hurts from that math.
Yeah,
I know. Okay, so all right. So I think I had this a little bit backwards, which makes, and I get that part of it that you're talking about. I thought everyone bought into the shares and then bought the game for $2 million. What you're saying is the people who bought into the shares sold the game for $2 million.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around. Because in other words, because when I originally read this, I thought the shares bought the game for $2 million. And then they're like, if we sell the game, then we split the profits. And I'm like, how in the hell are you going to get more than $2 million? But now I see where you're coming from. And I really wish I did this.
Exactly. So like if you go to the Rally website, you can literally just start looking for things. And it could be something as simple as like, a sports card. You want that Michael Jordan rookie card, you can buy shares into it.
You want that throw in a Mark McGwire rookie card.
Exactly. If you want that Charizard Pokemon card that's going for like $200,000, you can buy shares into it. That's exactly what it is. So what happened with the Super Mario Brothers game is an anonymous collector went on Rally and decided they wanted to purchase this unopened copy of Super Mario Brothers for $2 million. The end. And then all the sellers are like, sure.
Yeah, no, that totally went the other way I thought, which makes it even more interesting now. Okay.
Yeah. See, what I'm really curious about what the
buy-in was.
What the buy-in, what they had it set at in terms of value. I honestly don't know. But go ahead.
I was just saying, are you on the site like now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the site right now, but it won't tell you right now, like Rally.
Well, I'm saying, is there other stuff that's on there?
Well, that's what I'm looking for. Explore coming soon, a 1776 broadside of the Declaration of Independence.
What?
So if you want to buy a share of the Declaration of Independence, you can.
I was at
but this is a perfect example. Like I can't explore the. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here is a 9.8 1985 NES Super Mario Brothers game at the moment.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay.
The current marketing cap for it is $150,000. The shares are going for $50 a piece.
An initial offer. We're on rallyrd.com, RALLYRD.com. It's just interesting to go through. Initial offering date, August of last year. What is this?
Well, I wonder, is this the copy?
Oh, here we go. Okay, if you click on details. So here, it puts it into perspective. Price per share, $50. Number of shares, 3,000. 3,000. Market cap, 150,000. Oh, then they give a breakdown of it. Oh, wow, they even give like the box variant. Like this one has the hang tab, the NESGP code.
Yep, it's one of 14 with the hang tab variant that are currently in existence that are sealed. The seal rating is an A+. So basically, this value is based off of that copy that went for like 114,000.
I wonder if this is the copy that they just haven't updated it yet.
It could be, because like apparently you can only use download the Rally app, or you can use you can use Rally on the web. It's worth looking into if like you want to collect stuff. And the other thing too is also for people. Well, here's the other thing too. If you're not a stock market person, you don't really understand like how stock market works and everything like that. This is just kind of another way to do it, but you're doing it with like a physical copy of something. as opposed to investing in a business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an interesting way of, investing money if you wanted to invest money.
Copy of 1963 X-Men issue number 1, $20 per share, 12,000 shares. Market cap $240,000.
Wow, is it going for that much now?
First appearance of X-Men.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like,
that's wild.
Yeah,
this is gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, I'm worried for you now. It's like I sold my car, but that's okay. I've got 20 shares of Metroid.
They got the Honus. Well, yeah, honestly, they got a Honus Wagner available. They got cars. You can even do a 55 port. Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna deep dive into this later, but very interesting.
I just found a new way for Larry to go broke.
Oh, here we go. This is a big game related. A 1976 Apple I computer signed by Wozniak.
There you go.
$25 a share. But here's the thing. See, now I'm thinking about this. Here's the thing, though. Like, all right, fine. Say you're that guy who bought the NES game for $2 million. At least you physically get it. Like you said, Ann, this is really just strictly, which is nothing wrong with it, investment and make money, which is perfectly fine. But to me, I would want this 1976 Apple I computer signed by Wozniak.
Well, so that's the thing. You have to separate.
Yeah.
You have to separate it in your brain as like, instead of a collector, you're an investor.
Which is understandable. So it's very interesting, though. So, all right. So we'll definitely be on the lookout. Check out some more of that. Cool. The 79 Topps Wayne Gretzky rookie card.
There you go.
All righty. So very, very interesting. I am going to now pin that and save this to
my boy. We're gonna every week, it's instead of what did Larry buy a game on this time, it will be what did Larry invested on Rally.
It's just very interesting. A Triceratops skull. What maniac keeps a skull of a dinosaur in their office?
I don't know. I saw
exactly. All right.
I saw a megalodon jaws are up there. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff up there.
So very, very interesting. Check it out again. Rally RD, RALLYRD.com. If for no other reason, just to see what's available. Yeah. It's really interesting.
It's very interesting, actually. Yes. But let's move on.
Cool. All right. So we let's do. You know what? Let's talk about this for a minute. This is more just of an experience that I had, and you have some time. When this episode drops, it's not going to be available anymore until it's released. But if you have a moment, download it on the PS4. I'm talking about the open public beta for Back 4 Blood.
Yes, heard about this.
So if you're unaware of this game, basically it's from the company, from the same team that made Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. On the Xbox 360. And for me and Anthony personally, those two games was one of the very first games that we played, not just with us, with all of our friends online. And I think you had just moved to LA, I think, when the game came out. So it was right.
Yeah. It was around the time that I had moved to LA. So it was kind of a way for me to keep in touch with you guys.
Absolutely. And it was kind of new to all of us, online gameplay. Basically, you get 4 people, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. It plays out like a movie. 4 acts. You get from start to finish, and you're going through zombies. And we would get on randomly, not even the same 4 people. Like I got me and 3 of our friends. We play PUBG, but it's the same 4 of us. With Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, it was just like, who's free? So let's all log on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the most epic one was when 8 of us were on, all in the same party chat, playing 2 games at the same time, but we can hear everybody. It was chaos and very fun.
That was awesome.
So during I want to say last year's Game Awards in December of 2020, they announced Back 4 Blood, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, Left 4 Dead 3. Then I'm like, oh, what's Back 4 Blood? It's essentially Left 4 Dead 3.
It's Left 4 Dead 3.
Yes. Cross-platform. All right, because I've already played with people on the PC. And again, download it this weekend. We'll try and get a game going.
That'd be good.
And I figured out how we can do it and not have like strangers come into the game, because I've already teamed up with a couple of people. Very cool, nothing wrong. But like, I'm like, all right, sorry, we're about to ruin your game, pal. We don't know what we're doing. But
not only that, no offense, I don't like getting paired up with like 8-year-olds.
Well, luckily these weren't 8-year-olds; they were adults. Luckily,
most of my multiplayer games, like 8-year-olds are playing.
Oh no, agreed. And getting yelled at, and them yelling at like your mother and everything. Like what? I don't even know these people.
Or trying to act like adults and using every other word as a curse word.
Like adults do.
Like adults do.
Meanwhile,
because that's all we do. All we do is use every other curse word.
Their parents are probably sitting next to them. Mm-hmm. So I started playing. I did the early beta. I got into the early beta a week ago, and I played it. And I'm telling you, Ant, I mean, it just that nostalgia just washes right over you. It plays like Left 4 Dead, just in much higher resolution and in 4K.
It's also first person, right?
It is first person, which I know you're not into, but you got through it on Left 4 Dead. So
I did. That was one of the only games that I kind of managed to make it work.
So it is first person. As the game goes...
Or I just ignored the headaches.
You probably did.
I probably did. I go, my head is pounding, but this game is awesome.
As the game goes on, you just get covered in more and more blood as the game goes on. It's crazy. Cool. There's a little more to it, though, because now there's a card system.
Okay.
Which I know some of our buddies are a little antsy about, which I was as well. But as you play, you can see how they just give you attributes and everything like that. So it kind of adds up. And it's just something to learn. It's a learning curve.
Okay.
But and it's a beta. So obviously there's going to be some glitches and everything, which is fine. I don't complain about that. And you asked, because I was telling you about this before we started recording, and you asked, because it's cross-platform, how does the party chat work? And there is in-game chat. So like Xbox has a separate party chat, but then you can have in-game chat. The issue I was finding is right now with Back 4 Blood, you can only do in-game chat.
Got it.
Sometimes isn't the most reliable chat. No. I don't know if that's a beta thing and be fixed later, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But bottom line, definitely that feel is there of just, all right, this game's good. This game's good. Oh my God, the Horde is coming.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. So, and I'm going on record saying it's so good. Just go straight to when it comes out. Just buy it. I think it's going to be worth it. And
no, I'll take your word on it for this one for sure. I've watched some gameplay. It looks great.
Mm-hmm. And I know this is more with us, but I'll tell you, and if anyone else is listening, they'll probably find it funny. When I saw our friend Jonathan, we were talking, and before I because we were leaving for the evening that night, Frank, we were talking about Back 4 Blood, and Frank's like, whatever you do, don't tell Jonathan. Don't tell Jonathan the game's coming out. Because our friend Jonathan, who is a great guy, but man, was he a saboteur in a game that does not involve sabotaging.
Yes. Well, no, he wasn't. It wasn't that he was a saboteur. He was just he was the lone wolf of the party.
He was a jerk.
Yes, we'll put it that way. He didn't exactly look out for everybody else. It was more about his own survival, and we were sacrificed many times.
He set up a couple of traps. For us.
Yes.
And we love him. So we get ready to leave, and Frank's like, just don't tell Jonathan. Don't tell him. I'm like, okay. So we say goodbye to him. I'm like, oh, by the way, Jonathan, Back 4 Blood's coming out. It's just like Left 4 Dead. He's like, oh, excellent. And Frank's like, damn it, why'd you
That's part of the whole fun, though.
It is.
Come on.
So we'll hopefully we'll get everyone in on it. And of course, for Xbox, PS4, and Steam. So it's coming out in October.
Excellent.
And again, by the time this episode airs, the betas are going to be closed. But hey, if you get a chance, definitely download it.
I will give it my best shot.
We'll try maybe either tonight or tomorrow. It's really kind of the only days to do it.
I got to put some Dead by Daylight time aside.
Yes. All right.
For it.
What? Let's see if we can get into. You got any news or anything? See if anything new, because it has been a couple of weeks since we've been here.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a while.
And I do have some news. Looking at my email is not news. That was the wrong thing I pressed on.
Wrong news.
Only got a handful of things. So we'll just jump right in. One, a little bit of a sad news bite here. That why is it blurry? Oh, there we go. That the news came out that the voice of Mario from the early '90s cartoons passed away. Not Charles Martinet. He's still alive and well. But originally in the cartoons in the early '90s, there was it was specifically Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World. Walker Boone provided the voice for Mario.
There's a name for you, Walker Boone.
It was a stage name. That was not his real name. So unfortunately, he passed away in January of this year, but his death just kind of got noticed.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, he was 76.
Oh wow. There you go.
But yeah, I mean, we're running out of Mario voices, unfortunately, because there was him, Bob Hoskins, who played Mario in the movie. There was Captain Lou Albano, who was Mario in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
And that's the one I remember. When I saw this article, like in my head, I like Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. I remember watching those, but just in my head, all I can hear is Captain Lou, because he played Mario, obviously, in the live action Super Mario Brothers Super Show, but also in those cartoons that were attached to it. So I never really, I honestly thought he played Mario in those other two iterations.
Yeah, no.
I kind of want to go back and listen to it now.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear the difference. And so now we have, obviously the iconic Charles Martinet, who does the video game ones, but we're about to get a new voice for Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie that's coming out.
Yes, and I know that's going to be an uproar. The internet.
Nobody's going to be happy. Nobody's going to be happy.
The internet helps Sonic, but with this, I don't think the studios are going to be listening.
No, so. I think the minute people hear the voice and they know it's not Charles Martinet, it's going to outrage.
Yeah,
how dare. But here's the thing, and this is me. This is me, lived in Los Angeles, been working in the entertainment industry for a long time.
I normally defer to you in these situations.
Okay. Imagine hearing the video game Mario voice for 90 minutes straight.
See, here's the problem. I want to, but that's me. Yeah. Now, also at the same time, Mario.
Put it this way too. With the accent saying regular sentences. Because remember, when we hear Mario in the game, it's 1, 2, 3 words, maybe.
Beat me to it.
He doesn't speak in full sentences.
You took my idea.
And there's a reason.
No, you're right.
If you heard him speaking a full conversation, trust me, I don't think you'd want to hear his voice again.
No, you're right. I literally was going to say that. We only got little snippets, so it would be weird to hear him completely full out. But again, it wouldn't bother me, but I get that aspect of it. For that part. And look, Charles Martinet, he himself is an icon to us as gamers.
Oh, yeah.
But to the mass audience, I get it. Like Sonic, everyone knows Sonic. Just by looking at Sonic, people can see Sonic on a billboard who never played a Sonic game.
Yep.
They don't know what he sounds like. But he also spoke full sentences. So I get that part.
He was a smartass.
Exactly. I just hope, and I don't know, I just hope he has some sort of cameo, a voice cameo, Charles Martinet. I hope.
I feel fairly confident that would happen.
I hope so, yes.
We'll see.
Let's talk about this real quick, just on the Super Mario. And this dropped, and I don't know if he was supposed to say anything. Just a little more insight into the movie. Comedian Sebastian.
Why wouldn't I say anything?
I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Honestly, I'm not sure. So no, not you. I meant the guy I'm about to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Don't confuse me.
You're confusing me.
I'd have to edit. The comedian Sebastian, I can never pronounce his last name. Matt Sebastian, the Italian guy who's always talking and always talking like this. Yes, that guy. Very funny. Very funny. He dropped just randomly on a podcast that they're like, "Oh, what are you doing later today?" He's like, "Oh, I got to record for the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm playing Spike." And the internet blew up because now they're trying to figure out who is Spike. Because there's been a couple different Spikes in the Super Mario Brothers lore.
Oh, that's a very good point.
But the leading theory is that he's playing Spike from Wrecking Crew, which Spike was Mario's boss.
That's a pull.
That is a big pull. That is a deep pull. It'd be an awesome pull if it's true.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not confirmed, so we don't know.
Right. And then tomorrow we find out that he was fired.
Yeah, probably. And so we'll see about that. I just want to go back real quick to Walker Boone. I just want to give him some shout out here with his credit. Some of you Star Trek nerds might know him as Leland T. Lynch from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Don't say that with disdain.
Well, there's a certain character on the Next Generation that I despise.
Yes, I know Sheldon Cooper.
He was also in War of the Worlds, Highlander of the Raven, and Due South. So, definitely a good career, and good for him that he was able to do all that. Another fun fact I'm reading here, I didn't realize this: Peter Cullen was actually
noticed that. Yep,
the first voice of Mario in the '83 Saturday Supercade cartoon.
There you go.
And one fine, I don't know if it was part of the list maybe that you're talking about. It's just a short thing to mention. Talk about like Sebastian Maniscalco, saying that he's playing Spike. We found out who's playing Knuckles in Sonic 2.
I was just that was my next bit of news. Thank you very much. So yes, and big news at that too, because it was announced that Idris Elba will be playing Knuckles in the Sonic sequel.
Very cool. So, and literally it was just a picture of the glove. I think he just said knock knock and that was it. So, but perfect. It was from Idris Elba's Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. Have they announced who's voicing Tails?
Not yet, because here's the thing. The voice of Tails in that end credit scene in the first movie, I think was the voice from the cartoon.
It might have been.
At the time when they made it, I don't know if they knew they were going to do a sequel. So they're like, maybe they were like, you know what, let's just kind of throw this in for the fans.
Yeah.
As if we didn't have something that we can maybe look up to see who might be playing.
Yeah, what would you do if you were going to look it up? The race is on. Let's see. I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, I honestly don't think they ever thought
probably not
that the movie was going to be that big of a hit, and it was a big enough hit to call it what it was.
Absolutely.
So let's see. We had
I don't think see anybody yet.
Did they credit Tails in the first movie? Is the question.
I'm sure they would have.
Did he? I don't even remember what he said.
He was just like, I'm here, time to find Sonic.
Tails, Colleen O'Shaughnessy,
who I think does the cartoon.
Interesting. I'm looking at her credits right now. She, Doc McStuffins.
There you go.
Holy cow. Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom.
So she's the voice of Tails in the cartoon.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to bring her back, but we'll see.
Knowing them, they'll probably cast a bigger name.
They don't, or they don't want the backlash again. Like, you know what? We screwed this up the first time. Yeah. Let's just try this again.
Well, I remember everybody complained about. Everybody was concerned about Jim Carrey in general, as Dr. Robotnik and stuff, and that all worked out.
True, very true.
Because old Jim Carrey showed up.
We'll see about that. All right, what else we got?
What else we got here? So we have a Castlevania, as we all know, great series, great franchise, and everything like that. It was recently announced that they released they're calling it a near legendary Castlevania beta.
Ooh.
Which is an early version of Castlevania Bloodlines. Was released online for people to play. There is a beta ROM. It's been released to the public. And it basically is giving fans a look at the game when it was in beta form. And there's stuff in the game that did not make it into the game.
Really?
So you can actually see a version of the game that is a little bit different, including a famous airship level.
Airship?
Yep. And the airship level was originally shown in previews at the time, but it wound up, when you bought the game, you obviously never ran into it.
That's interesting.
So so you can look up the beta version. It was beta version 0.5.
Okay.
Not to get into Kingdom Hearts territory here. So it has a few stages that are different, several areas that didn't make it into the game, such as the Zeppelin and molten steel areas in stage 4.
Oh man.
Yeah. So if you are a Castlevania fan or a Castlevania Bloodlines fan, you can go online, download the 0.5 beta, and check out what's different in the Castlevania Bloodlines game.
That's interesting. I didn't know about that. All righty.
Yeah. So definitely worth seeing.
Absolutely.
Moving on. We have a third-party accessory that was released for the Switch.
Oh, interesting.
That is basically like a Game Shark, if you know what a Game Shark is.
It's basically like a Game Shark without saying there's a Game Shark inside of it.
Exactly. So it's a Game Shark. So it allows you to basically cheat on your games. So it essentially hacks your game. So
basically, yeah.
And it's a USB. It's just a USB stick that you plug into the side of the Switch. You can put it in the, you just put it right into the
dock.
Put it right into the dock. And you can cheat through. Right now you can cheat through a handful of titles, but it includes Pokemon Sword and Shield, Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So if you like to cheat during your games and unlock certain things or do weird things during a game, pick yourself up a Switch Up, it is called.
It also will double as a Bluetooth dongle, so you can use other types of controllers.
There you go.
But this is interesting. I don't know if you read this part of the article.
I don't read all the way through.
The Switch Up also includes cheats for Fortnite.
Oh.
Allowing, quote, this is from Game Rant, quote, allowing players to have dramatically increased aim assist as well as other programmed movements that make them harder to hit. Oh, guess what's going to be pulled?
Well, that's going to be fun for all you Fortnite players.
Oh, man, if Fortnite, I mean, if you're caught cheating, man, they basically almost come to your house.
Well, every Switch player is about to get banned.
So
every Switch player buys a Switch Up. So there's a Switch Up.
Very interesting.
Okay, right. Got 2 more pieces of news in that.
Yeah, bring it.
All right. I sent this to you earlier this week, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Grand Theft Auto 5. Everybody loves Grand Theft Auto 5. I even loved Grand Theft Auto 5 for a little while until I once again got tired of listening to 8-year-olds cursing and using words that no human being should use, much less an 8-year-old.
Quidjibo.
If they say Quidjibo, it'd actually be
no. What was the one from Family Guy? Kleeman. The new curse word, Kleeman.
Go to Kleeman.
Oh.
All right. So Grand Theft Auto, okay? Great franchise, obviously. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been around for 1,000 years now.
And it's still making bank.
They're never making a 6th.
Yeah.
They're making a 6th. However, what Rockstar did announce is that they may be, this is a rumor, but I mean, usually it wouldn't get this far along if there wasn't some truth to it, that they're going to be remastering 3 of their classic Grand Theft Auto games. And the 3 that we are talking about are Grand Theft Auto 3, which basically started it all with the 3D version.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. I never stopped playing that.
Went from the top down of Grand Theft Auto 2, where the car was this big, to the 3D world. It was holy cow.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas supposedly are going to be remastered using Unreal Engine, and it'll be a mix of new and old graphics.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first game that taught me that I could have sex with a hooker and then kill her and take my money back.
Which, look, oldest profession and the oldest way to get your money back. So, but yeah, no, GTA 3 basically got me through my freshman year of college, I think.
There you go. It definitely got me through something. I don't remember what.
Vice City, I love, though. That whole 80s vibe of Vice City.
Well, what's funny is I never wound up moving on to Vice City. I played.
Really?
I basically exhausted myself playing 3, and then I just kind of let it be until 5. I literally skipped.
You didn't even play San Andreas?
No, skipped them all.
Wow, San Andreas with the hot coffee mini game.
Yeah, you know what it was, though? Here was the thing. I loved Grand Theft Auto 3, but I felt like at the time, I felt like it was such a time suck because you didn't really have to play through a story mode. To be honest with you, I don't even know if I finished story mode or nothing. I just kind of drove around and caused chaos.
That's basically what you do, yeah.
Right. And then after a while, I was kind of like, all right, I'm kind of done with it. Now, GTA 5 totally different because it's like you're playing in the game with other people, and there's a whole world city going on. I hope I still have my apartment in mind. But the whole idea,
save?
Yeah. So no, I'm talking about in 5.
Oh,
because I stopped playing 5 like months ago. But like in 5, it's like you play with other people, and then of course everybody acts like a jerk. It's like, oh, we're just gonna go around killing everybody. It's like,
You know, it's interesting. These 3 games were originally going to be a pack-in because you want to talk about GTA 6. Rockstar is focusing on next-gen ports of GTA 5.
Yep.
So coming to the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So yeah, forget about 6. Why bother with it? But they were originally going to put these 3 games possibly with GTA 5 on next gen. So you almost would have gotten them for free.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's what's funny because now GTA 5 has been on how many generations of console? Are we on the 3rd? Did it start on 3, PS3?
I have
or 4?
GTA 4 on the PS3.
Okay.
I don't think I have it on 5. I don't think I have GTA 4. Wait, what? What am I talking about?
Yeah, GTA 5 came out. Yeah, I don't know.
I got lost. Those numbers confused me. Wait a minute.
Calm down. No, I'm right. GTA 5 came out in 2013 on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So it is now like it's on its 3rd generation of console, which is unheard of. Really unheard of.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, I mean, I think Elder Scrolls Skyrim is doing the same thing. So.
Basically.
Yeah. But anyway, so possibly some upgrades on GTA. If you're a big GTA fan, keep an eye out on the news with that. Last bit of news I want to share.
If we may, because I'm sorry, only because I want to close with this. I know what you're going to talk about. I want to close with that news. Where I just go over a little bit. I do want to show, I have a couple of things that I purchased. I just want to show off real quick.
Yes.
But the news is bigger news. First of all, remember I told you a couple weeks ago, I didn't even know this game was available on the PS2. Gradius 3 and 4.
Yes.
Like on its own. And I don't think it was a Japanese exclusive or anything like that.
No. I'm pretty sure it was an American release.
So Gradius 5, phenomenal. So I got that. Pretty
Very
cool. Nice. I got, now this is a reproduction, so this isn't the original. I think the original goes for a lot of money, but this is an awesome shoot 'em up. It's a game on the NES called Over Horizon.
Ooh.
It only came out in Japan and Germany.
Nice.
In 1991. And this game, if you can find like a ROM or a repro of it, because I think the original is way too much money, pick it up. What's cool about this for you shoot 'em up fans is the very small detail, but it changes the gameplay. But I forgot which button is which. Button A shoots forward, button B shoots backwards.
Oh, that's really
cool. That is such a game changer. It's ridiculous.
Very cool.
This is what I've been focused on the last couple of days.
Nice.
Also, I picked up a Wii Play for the Wii. Mostly because we were at Game On and we were playing this Tanks, which is almost like Combat on the Atari.
Okay.
So that was really cool. That was just kind of a not too bad.
That, you know what? You just reminded me. Do you have more shopping?
One more. Just one more.
Okay.
I saw this game and I'm like, I got to get it. You know, you get one of these, sometimes you get a game that you're like, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it could be, but just the way it looks. And when I saw the game on, I'm like, I need to buy it as is.
Scary Dino game.
This game was traded in as is with the front NES label torn off and a child not knowing the title of the game.
The name of the game.
Wrote, and this is the game. It is a Scary Dino game.
No. Like the title of the game? No.
The game is a Scary Dino game.
Scary Dino game. Adventure Island.
No, but a lot of people guess that.
Caveman games.
Nope, but I'll give you one more guess.
What other dinosaur games?
Hint.
Jurassic Park?
I was going to say very on the nose. So whatever child that didn't know how to spell Jurassic Park thought it was a Scary Dino game.
Nice.
And I'm like, I got to buy this as is. So
very nice.
Very, very funny. And that's basically what happened to me the last couple of days until we're done recording. And then I'm going back out to get some more Atari games.
Yeah. All right. I was gonna say something about the We Play game, but I'll hold that since we're going over. Last bit of news to share.
Yes.
We have the announcement of another mini console.
Yes.
And as you can see behind me, I have quite the collection of mini consoles over there.
Better make room.
I don't have room.
Yeah, you do. I think you have right on the side.
No, I don't have any room. Something on the shelves is gonna have to go away. Like,
you have 4 on each side. Yeah, you can't have 5 and 4.
Walker Boone.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Oh,
right
man.
there.
Boo.
What's that? I love the animated collection. I also have Super Mario World too, as well.
Awesome.
Next mini console to come out is going to be the Amiga 500 mini console.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't remember anything about the Amiga. I don't know anyone who had an Amiga originally.
I may have known one person with an Amiga, but I don't know if it was the 500. I don't know. But anyway, the Amiga 500 will be released in early 2022 and will cost $139.99, which is quite pricey for a mini console.
It's US dollars, yes.
US dollars, yeah. Creator Retro Games Limited announced on Tuesday. You can pre-order it now in the UK. The retro console will include 25 classic Amiga games built in, including Worms, The Chaos Engine, Another World, and Simon the Sorcerer.
Great games, actually.
Yep. So the Amiga 500 came out originally in 1987. It was released by Commodore. I guess that was their follow-up to the 64 and 128. I don't know. It became a popular machine, was the best-selling Amiga computer overall.
Okay.
So the Amiga 500 Mini, which is in the shape of a keyboard.
Yes. Much like the Commodore 64.
Much like the Commodore 64 Mini. It will come with an Amiga-style 2-button mouse. Now, the old mice for computers, like especially back then, were kind of rectangular.
Yeah, they
didn't have like a round edge to it. So.
They were not ergodynamic.
No, they were definitely not. You want carpal tunnel? You get one of these. Get one of these.
Oh my gosh!
All right, so again, it's going to emulate to the Amiga 500. It's also going to come with an Amiga CD32 controller. So you get a controller,
which is very cool.
Yep. So only 12 of the 25 games have been announced. They are Alien Breed 3D, Another World, ATR All-Terrain Racing, Battle Chess, which sounds cool to me, Cadaver, which sounds weird, Kickoff 2, soccer maybe. Pinball Dreams, Simon the Sorcerer, Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe.
Oh boy.
The Chaos Engine, Worms the Director's Cut, and Zool. Not Ghostbusters Zool, ZOOL Zool.
There is no Dana.
Yeah. But otherwise, like, it looks really cool. I have to say, like, I'm kind of excited about it.
This one's really cool.
Yeah, I want to see what the other 13 games are going to be on it, because 25 games for $140.
Here's the thing. You can, and it allows to do this via USB. You can add your own games.
Yep.
You can update the firmware, connect your own devices. And it says actually here, from their website, the Amiga 500 Mini is compatible with hundreds of classic Amiga games and demos, utilizing WHD load for simplicity. So you will be able to download other Amiga games to play on here. So that, I think, justifies the price, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. So I think, so really, really cool news. Amiga 500 coming out early next year. So
around my birthday, actually.
I know what you're buying.
Shocking.
Well, you were going to buy it anyway.
Probably. So very cool. And it's funny, a lot of my friends, not a lot, but a few of my friends who aren't heavy into gaming, but they remember like the Amiga back in the day.
Yeah.
A couple of like, this is actually really cool. Like as much as they were psyched about the NES Mini, like they're kind of psyched about this. I'm like, all right, there we go. So there's a future of it. And as more information comes out, we'll let you know.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, and we'll see maybe the return of the Amiga.
Yay.
All righty. And with that, I think we will start to wrap it up.
I would love to do that.
Into port. And let everyone know where can they find
English, please.
I'm having trouble today.
Yeah, I know. Do you want me to talk slower? You can find us at facebook.com Retro Gamers Podcast. You can that's fine. You can find us on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast, on Twitter at Retro Gamers Pod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can watch us on YouTube and IGTV. And if you feel like contacting us, you can always message us on Facebook if you want, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
Yes, and if anyone's local, we're not setting up or anything. I'm just going to try and go. But if you see me, say hi. In a couple of weeks, actually, the last weekend in August, they have the Long Island Tropic Con over here at the Sunrise Mall in Massapequa. So I'm going to try and hit that up, just kind of visit it, see what's going on. And hopefully if they remember, I got to send out a reminder. We might also be at the grand opening here in Levittown of a new arcade diner, if you will. Arcadia called out here in Levittown. So more information as well. Again, if you're local in the area. So
very, very cool. All right.
So with that, and as always, it's a pleasure.
Pleasure was all yours, of course.
Of course. How dare you? And with that, folks, we will catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.